interior shooting team. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, watching these guys on film, they like to run a lot of 41 offense, 4 out, 1 in. They'll try to feed it into the big guy and then move, screen away. If we let them cut and get into the paint, that's recipe for disaster for us. We got to have good, solid team defense, play linked up, give them the outside shot. If they start knocking it down, then you adjust. But you play inside out on defense, I think we're going to be all right.
Now let's switch that side of the coin to the Bruins side of the basketball. They've been on a hot streak here recently, coming off a Switzerland County tournament win over the Christmas break here for us students. But, I mean, this team, they've really come together these past few games. Ever since Indian Creek, when they came lights out against the Indians, they haven't looked back.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at the box score for the Bruins, the recipe for success is how many players do you see in double digits. If they share the ball and make it difficult for the other opposing team to have to figure out who to defend, that's a really good sign for us. When you look at our wins, you'll see 4, sometimes even 5 players close to or in double digits. So I'd love to see that tonight. Don't let the ball stick in one player's hand. Obviously, if someone's hot, let them ride it. But you got to make sure you're spreading the wealth around.
Couple players to watch for tonight on the Tri-West side of the ball. Watch out for that man, Parker Gibson, again. He's been on fire as of late. Watch Ryan Miller being able to score tonight. And one man I also want to point out, this time we're going to go in the direction of a big man. Watch out for Lane Barner tonight. He's been really hot down the stretch, was a leading scorer in that Switzerland County tournament for the Tri-West Bruins. Watch for him to get hot tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, a lot of different weapons at any given time on the court is usually a good thing for the Bruins.
About a minute till tip-off here. We'll take a break real quick, and we'll be right back with opening.
For tonight's opening round of the Hendricks County Bulls basketball tournament between the visiting Danville Warriors and your Tri-West Bruins. First, let's meet the visiting starters from Danville. Number 2, Paul Clark. Number 3, Carter Boyd. Number 4, Jacob Force. Number 24, Mrs. Keenan. Number 3, Laurie Thompson. The Warriors, the hook of coach, Mark Hartman. And it's time to meet the starters for your Tri-West Bruins. And the guard, grade number 20, the sophomore, Danville.
All right, so starting lineups are set.
Starting lineups are set here. We're ready to go here for the opening round of the Hendricks County tournament here. Tri-West versus Danville, a storied rivalry here in these parts of the county. Let's see what the result is tonight. Starting lineups, if you're unable to hear, on the Warriors side of the ball, we have number 0, Cole Flick. Number 3, Carter Ward. Number 4, Jacob Fultz. Number 24, Esaias Ennen. And number 40, Logan Thompson. For your Bruins, you have number 4, Ryan Miller. Number 10, Jackson Paris. Number 12, Eric Dean. Number 20, Daniel Thomas. And number 21, Lane Barnard. Warriors come out hot, starting with a 3. Number 4, Jacob Fultz knocks it down, takes an early 3-0 lead. Ryan Miller brings it up the floor. Warriors coming out of the trap. Miller trying to get it. He gets it back. Cross court to Eric Dean. He's wide open. Goes in for the layup. Can't get it to fall. Tries to come down with his own rebound. Foul will be called.
Yeah, unfortunate miss there, but a good follow by Dean. You know, we hadn't talked a whole lot about this, but, you know, longtime coach Brian Barber's left Danville. Mark Artman, who's the head coach, has been at Danville for a long time. They're known for playing a lot of pressure and a lot of gimmick defenses, 1-3-1. Full court presses. Looks like they were going to come out and blitz the Bruins.
Lane Barnard goes up on the inbound and will be fouled. He'll head to the line for the first time tonight. That foul will be charged toward number 3, Carter Ward. That'll be charged toward Logan Thompson. And already that's Danville's second team foul of the game, and we're not even 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, that's a good sign there. You can hopefully get them into some foul trouble, get to the free throw line. Got to score here.
So Barnard hits his first free throw, looking for a second now. It is up and good, so the Bruins immediately shrink that lead down to 1. Number 0, Cole Flick brings up the floor for the Warriors as Flick gets it to Ennen. Esaias Ennen up top, gets it back to Flick. Flick dribbling to his left, right, spin move, goes in for the layup, gets it to fall. There's 2 for him. It is now a 3-point lead once again. Miller picks up his dribble, gets it across to Daniel Thomas. Back to Miller, trying to break the press here. To Paris. Paris in the middle to Miller. Miller drives lane. Nice dump to Barnard. Nice layup. Good find there from the pair.
Yeah, and that's definitely something you can do. Attack that press. Once you break it, you're usually going to get something open underneath.
Bruins coming out with a hop trap of their own. Thomas strips it away. They're locked arms. Fighting for the ball. Dean on the floor. It's a jump ball. And it's going to go to the Bruins.
Good intensity out of the gate here by both teams.
That's those drills you work on in practice. You see a ball on the deck, dive on the floor for it.
That's right.
So Miller going to take it under the basket for the Bruins here. 6:50 left to play. Miller on the inbound. He's looking for somebody. He's got Dean wide open at the top of the key. Dean pull up 3, just short. Rebound goes to Carter Ward. Ward brings up the floor. Now he's looking for somebody. Dribbles to his left, gets it to Flick. Flick up top, spins left. Back out to Ward. Ward driving baseline. Out to number 4. That's Jacob Fultz for the 3. Again, he's got 2.
Yeah, and of course I said they're not a good outside shooting team, and they've hit their first 2 threes.
Thomas brings up the floor for the Bruins. Double team. Dean in the corner. Miller. Miller for 3. He's got to give him 3.
Yeah,
Miller
Coach
strikes back at the 3 from Fultz to shrink it back to 1 point, and Strine will take a timeout here. 78 game. Welcome you back here to the Bruin Gymnasium. As some of our thoughts we were talking about in the break, Mr. Spears, have been a bit disproven. We said in the pregame this one the exterior shooting team. Number 4, Jacob Fultz, has already knocked down 2 in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's probably why Coach Strine took that timeout to say, hey, look, he's hit a couple now. We can't let him get going. We're going to have to put the clamp down on him. Don't let him get any wide open looks.
So now on the left wing, dribbling to the baseline, it's number 0, Cole Flick. Flick back up top to Fultz. Fultz back to Flick on the left wing. Flick drives in, kick out to Fultz. Fultz back to Ward. Ward to Ennen. And an offensive foul going to be called on the Warriors. That's going to be called on Logan Thompson, his second of the night. Danville's third of the game. Into the game for the Warriors is number 15. That's Oliver Riggs. So now inbounding it comes Ryan Miller for the Bruins.
Gotta
7
be
to 8
patient.
game, 5:50 left to play here in the first quarter. Miller lobs it to Paris. Paris back to Miller. Miller back to Paris. Paris driving left side. Kick out, cross corner to Dean. Dean stuck in the corner, gets it to Thomas. Thomas swings it back out to Paris up top. Paris back to Thomas on the left wing. Back to Paris again. Paris to Thomas on the left wing. This time he's open. He'll take the three. He's got to give him three. Thomas gets going with his first shot going in behind the arc.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Good
Thomas
hands.
is still there. Thomas diving on the floor. There goes Dean again for the loose ball. Number 3, Carter Ward's going to have it. Foul going to be called on Eric Dean.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll take that. That's good intensity. That's good effort, right? That's a hustle foul. You'll take that all day long. And one of the things I was going to say there, when we had the ball and we were taking up with that press, you got to be careful not to get going too quick, right? I mean, if you see a breakdown and you want to take a wide open layup, that's fine. But what you don't want to do with the press is get in a hurry and take a contested shot.
So the Warriors inbound it to Ennin, and then back to Ward. Ward to Flick. Flick now driving down the right side. Flick spins into the lane. Kick out to Ward, excuse me. Ward tries to drive, and a blocking foul going to be called on Jackson Paris. So the Bruins now already 2 fouls on the corner with 5:05 left to play in the first quarter. So the Warriors will take it out of bounds. Flick on the inbound.
Ref cleaning up some contact down there.
So Flick going for the inbound. Trying to get inbound. Tries to get it to Ennin, but it slides through the line, and it is going to be out of bounds on the Warriors, and the Bruins will have it right in front of their bench. Excuse me, they're going to take it out of bounds. Under the basket, excuse me. Into the game now, Parker Gibson, number 11 for Tri-West, as he brings it up the floor. Parker Gibson gives it back to Miller. Miller up top, gets it to Thomas. Thomas back to Miller. Miller to Gibson on the left wing. Feeds it inside to Paris. Paris fighting, and a foul going to be called on number 0, Cole Flick.
Warriors run a little 1-2-2 zone here, and the Bruins are doing a nice job of being patient up top and moving the ball around. You just got to be really crisp with passes in that. You get a guy shoot the passing lane, and that's what they tried to do right there. Fortunate for us, we got the foul call.
So his first foul of the night, that'll push Danville's foul total to 4 with 4:49 left to play as Thomas gets the inbound. Thomas back to Miller on the right wing. Miller to Thomas. Thomas back to Miller. Looks like they're trying to find something. Gibson has it on the left wing now, back to Thomas. Thomas to Gibson. Gibson to Miller in the corner. Miller for 3, just off the back of the rim. But Anderson with offensive rebound. Anderson drives off the glass, won't go. Number 4, that's Jacob Full to the rebound, gets it out to Flick. Cole Flick brings it up the floor now, dribbling to his right. Spins inside, back left. Goes up, blocked by Anderson, but a foul going to be called. As that seemed like a fairly clean block from Anderson there, but a foul will be called, and Flick is heading to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about pregame, too, of where this Danville team can be dangerous is off the dribble. Penetration into the lane there. That's a good job by them of being aggressive. You take a big, wild swipe. Regardless, the optics look like it's going to maybe be a foul, and that's what the Warriors were able to get there.
Flick dealt his first free throw. It is up and off the back of the rim. Flick missing his first keeps this at a 2-point game with Tri-West up 10-8, 4:19 left to play in the first. Cole Flick dealt his second free throw. Looking here now, it is up and it is off, in and out again. Gibson comes down with the rebound. Gibson brings it up the floor. Gibson dribbling to his left hand off to Thomas. Thomas to Miller. Miller back to Gibson. Gibson dribbling right now up top. Feeds it inside to Anderson at the elbow. Anderson turns around, gives Thomas on the right wing. Thomas driving inside, kick out to Paris. Paris for 3. He's got it 1-for-1 behind the arc.
Yeah, good inside out there. Penetration of the lane. Kick it out, wide open 3.
Flick brings it up the floor now for the Warriors. Flick to Riggs. Riggs back to Flick up top. Flick looking, spins inside, runs to his own teammate. Loose for the ball, gets to Ennin inside. Ennin back to Flick for 3. Flick off the back of the rim. Riggs comes down with the rebound, but shoveled out by Anderson. Anderson tipped by number 3, Carter Ward. Carter Ward brings it back down the floor for the Warriors. Ward blocked by Thomas behind the three-point line, but that is going to be called as a foul.
Well, that was unfortunate there.
There's a lot of quick, fast-paced basketball played there, and it looked like a clean strip there from Daniel Thomas, but a foul going to be called. And since he was trying to pull up from three, that will be counted for 3 free throws. So at the line is number 3, Carter Ward for the Warriors. Ward up with this first and will make the first. Now a 4-point game. Bruins lead 13-9, 3:25 left in the first quarter. Teams are both tied at 4 fouls apiece here in this first quarter as well. Ward, Delta second, misses off the front of the rim. During those free throws, there has been a substitution for Danville. Number 1, Tanner Weininger comes in for the Warriors. Ward dealt his third free throw. It is up, and it is good, so that will shorten it to a 3-point game. Bruins up 13-10 as Gibson brings it up the floor. Gibson looking. Gets it to Thomas on the right wing. Now Anderson in the corner. Anderson back to Gibson. Gibson to Dean in the corner. Dean, pump fake. Dribbles back to his left. Cross to Gibson up top. Gibson, triple threat. Back to Dean on the wing. Dean to Gibson up top. Gibson, deep three. Just off the back of the rim. Riggs comes down with the rebound. Weininger to Flick. Flick brings it up the floor now. Flick, bobbled, and a foul going to be called again.
Boy, they're flopping around all over the place, picking up these cheap fouls here. We got to be careful. Obviously, the eyeballs are on. Any kind of motion where you're reaching, swiping, we got to be smart.
So Daniel Thomas, a bit of an early sub, but he will be coming out of the game for Jackson Paris as the Bruins have reached their 5th foul of the quarter. Flick up with his first, and it is good. Now into the game comes Paris for the Bruins as Flick shortens this game to a 2-point game.
Yeah, we just got to be a little bit more patient, be solid with the ball, run our stuff. We're getting good looks against this zone.
Flick misses his second in and out as Paris comes down with the rebound. Now a 2-point game still. Bruins up 13-11, just shy of 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Dean on the right wing. Looking, has Miller. Miller inside of Anderson. Nice feed. Anderson up with the layup off the front. Anderson comes down with the rebound, and a foul going to be called. I believe it's going to be on number 3, Carter Ward. So Anderson will be going to the free throw line. Actually, excuse me, it's going to be an offensive foul. Parker Anderson going to be charged with it.
Wow, I didn't see that. Looked like he went straight up. I didn't see him make much contact with the Danville player.
So Carter Ward puts up his first, and it will go. That's a chance to tie here with his second free throw. Into the game comes Lane Barnard for Parker Anderson as he has reached his second foul of the night. As Ward has dealt his second free throw. Ward puts it up, and it is good, and we now have a tie ball game at 13 at 2:41 left to play in the first. Miller brings up the floor. Miller up top for the Bruins, has Gibson on the left wing. Gibson dribbles to his right a bit, looking for somebody, has now Paris up top. Paris dribbling right, has Miller now in the wing. Miller to Paris. Paris driving left through the corner. Nice baseline kick out to Dean in the corner. Dean dribbling. Nice inside move just off. Barner tries to put back. Can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Flick. Flick now up the floor. No look pass to Ward. Ward puts it up. Won't go. Gibson rebound. Gibson one-on-one down the floor. Fighting. Gets fouled by Flick. And it in. One. What a shot there from Parker Gibson.
What a finish. Boy, that was strong right there. He took that contact early, rode it all the way through, and muscled that ball up and in. I was just getting ready to say, this kind of feels a lot like the girls' game. We've missed a lot of bunnies, a lot of stuff around the basket, so that's a good sign that drops. We just got to keep, pounding away inside, and we can get good open looks.
Parker Gibson up with his first free throw, or his one and only free throw, and it will not go in. Barnard tried to come down with the rebound, but it will be tipped out of bounds. Into the game for the Warriors comes number 2, Landon Kinzer. And with Flick picking up his second foul of the game, number 12, Sam McRoberts, has entered the game for the Warriors as well. McRoberts gets it back to Kinzer. Kinzer up to Riggs. Riggs back to McRoberts up top. Bruins trying to trap McRoberts. His tip. Parker Gibson brings up the 4. Gibson, nice layup to extend the lead to 4.
Yeah, nice steal there. Got to keep putting the pressure on him. Sorry, Lynn.
Bruins one-on-one press down the floor. Dean covering McRoberts. Now Ward has it up top on Gibson. Ward, nice down low pass to McRoberts. Got it to Riggs. It's tipped. It's up. Barnard has it now. Miller brings up the floor now for the Bruins. Miller dribbling to his left in the lane. Tries to kick it out. Pull-up jumper contested. It's a good shot, and it'll go in. And a timeout, Danville.
Yeah.
Nice shot there from Miller to get some momentum rolling as a timeout taken. 19-13 Bruins. We welcome you back to the Bruins Gymnasium here for this Hendricks County tournament matchup between the Bruins and the Warriors. Mr. Spears, what have you seen so far?
Yeah, like we were talking about, we've gotten a lot of looks inside the lane that we just haven't finished on. We've got to keep pounding the ball inside against this zone. We can't just settle for outside shots all game. When they're there, we should take them. Defensively, we just got to make sure we stay solid. Don't start gambling too much. Lay off the fouls.
So the Warriors inbound it to number 1, Tanner Weininger, as he gets it back to Carter Ward. Ward brings it up the floor. Spins back to the right. Dribbling to his right now. Tries to go baseline. Gets it out to Kinzer. Kinzer for 3. It's good. He'll get a 3. Kinzer shrinks the lead back down to 3 as Gibson quick back up the floor. Cross to Miller. Miller drives baseline. Big kick out to Gibson. Gibson quick swing to Paris. Paris for 3. It's good. Give him 3. 2 for 2 behind the arc for number 10.
Yeah, that's a really good sign that you can get that production from him.
Ward dribbling to his left, gets it to Riggs. Riggs back to Kinzer. Kinzer dribbling to his left, now gets to number 45. Number 1, Weininger now has it back to number 45 in the lane. To Riggs in the corner. Riggs for 3, just long. Barnard comes down with a rebound. Barnard to Gibson, 25 seconds left. Gibson dribbles left side, kick out to Paris. Paris kick out to Dean, swing to Miller in the corner. Just long.
Follow.
Miller trying to come back with his rebound, can't get it. Ward brings it up, 15 seconds in the quarter. Ward, kick out to Weininger. Weininger, an open 3 off the front of the rim. Barnard has it, 8 seconds. Miller now up the floor. Miller driving right side of the lane. Off the glass, he gets it to go.
Nice.
A huge shot from Kinzer over the backboard. And the Bruins will take a quarter 1 win, or will take the first quarter 24-16. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome you back here to the Bruins Gymnasium between this rivalry matchup between Tri-West and Danville. Mr. Spears, what have we seen so far a quarter of the way in?
Yeah, you got to feel good about an 8-point lead. You missed, like we said, a lot inside, but you knocked some outside shots down, which helped. Like you called 2 threes from Jackson was huge. I know Ryan had one, so that's a good sign. Like I said, we just got to continue to play good, solid pressure defense without fouling, and then just be patient on offense.
Carter Ward going to inbound it for the Warriors as he gets it to Tanner Weininger. Now has it to number 4, Jacob Fultz in the corner, back to Ward up top. Ward, kick out to Fultz on the right wing. He's inside to number 45. Number 45 driving in on the block, puts it up, can't get it to go, comes down with his own rebound, but a foul going to be called. Looks like it's going to go on to Maury Blakely.
Yeah, we gotta walk that fine line of playing aggressive defense without fouling. You know, getting those cheap reach fouls like that, you know, those things stack up, and we certainly don't want to get them into the bonus early like we did last quarter.
So number 45 will take his first couple free throws here, and he will miss the first. Excuse us for having to refer to the free throw shooter as number 45. We do not have a name for him in the roster, so that's why we're referring to him for his number, as his second free throw will fall. Now a 7-point game here as Miller brings up the floor, gets it to Paris. Paris back to Miller up top. Miller back to Paris. Paris pump fakes, dribbles back left. Picks up his dribble to Dean in the corner. Dean to Paris. Paris to Blakely. Blakely up top, gets it back to Paris. Paris dribbling to his right, jump steps, tries to feed it out, but it's stolen away. Fultz brings up the floor now, one-on-one with Miller, gets the layup to fall.
That was the right idea there by Jackson to try to attack the gap there and make 2-guard 1. But just a turnover there.
Paris gets it to Blakely in the corner. Blakely for 3 off the front of the rim. Barnard fighting for the rebound. Can't get it. It's going to go to Landon Kinzer. Kinzer brings it up the floor down the left side. Kinzer on the right, guarded by Blakely, and a foul going to be called on Blakely again. So Blakely already picking up his second of the night, and the Bruins second, as Thomas and Parker Gibson will return to the game.
Yeah, we just gotta find a way to play defense without fouling. We've got to adjust to the way the whistles are going. If that means we've got to back off just a little bit, so be it. But we certainly don't want to get guys in foul trouble.
So number 4, Jacob Fultz has up top, gets to number 45, Rayvon Martin. Number 3, Carter Ward now has up top, spins inside the lane, guarded by Blakely. Fultz, and there's a travel. Started walking before he put it down. So the Bruins going to get the ball back here with just a 5-point game on their hands, 24-19, 6:36 left to play. Gibson has the ball, bring it up for the Bruins. Gibson looking for something here. Gets it to the right to Blakely, back to Gibson. Gibson calling a play, dribbles back out up top.
Yeah, it's be patient against this zone. If they're going to sit in this zone, there's no reason for us to force up outside shots. Be patient.
As Blakely tries to get to Gibson, that's a turnover, and a foul going to be called on Blakely as Ward goes up. So Ward's heading to the free throw line, and Blakely gets his third foul called in about a minute.
Yeah, when you get into a zone like that, you got to shorten up your passes. That was a long pass to have to try to make right there, and Danville made him pay for it by shooting the passing lane.
Ward misses his first free throw. This is going to stay a 5-point game as Miller comes in for Blakely. Ward dealt his second free throw, puts it up, and it is good. So now we have a 4-point game, 24-20 Bruins.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start here in the second quarter. We got to get something going right here.
Gibson brings up the floor as he gets it to Miller. Tipped. Paris comes down with it. Paris back to Miller up top. Miller dribbles to his right. Back left. Cross to Paris. Paris open 3. He's good. 3 for 3. Tommy Strine will take a timeout there as Paris knocks down his third 3 of the night. That's 100%. As we'll take a quick timeout break, we'll be back. you back here to the Bruins Gymnasium for tonight's game between the Bruins and the Warriors. As this has been a scrappy one, all right, Mr. Spears. What do you got to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, both teams are starting to get. I mean, look, Danville's not going to go away. I mean, we know they're going to play hard, physical. They're going to do everything they can to try to win this game. You know, if we just kind of slow things down a little bit, be patient, make good, solid passes, work our offense, and then play defense without fouling. Right? Those are the kind of cues I think right now.
Warriors inbound it to Rayvon Martin. Martin gets it back to Carter Ward as Ward brings up the floor for the Warriors. Ward, guarded by Paris, dribbling to his left. Spins back right, dribbles back across, gets it to Weininger. Weininger gets it to Fultz. Fultz dribbling to his right, gets it tipped by Paris. Paris comes down with it. Paris brings up the floor off the steal. Paris, no look past to Thomas, back to Miller. Miller drives in, pull-up floater off the front. Rebound comes down with Fultz. Fultz slowing up the tempo, getting his guys back on the floor for a play. Fultz inside to Martin. Martin dribbling
Double,
baseline, and a double dribble going to be called on Rayvon Martin, and that ball's going right back to the Bruins. Back into the game for the Bruins comes number 13, Parker Anderson, as the Bruins will get it under their own bucket. Or excuse me, they'll bring it out up the floor. 27-20 game here, 5:15 left to play in the half. Miller, pump fakes cross to Gibson. Gibson dribbles left, back to Miller on the right wing. Back to Gibson up top. Gibson to Thomas. Thomas back to Gibson. Anderson flashes up in the middle. Gets it back to Gibson in the corner. Gibson to three. It's good! Give him three.
Huge.
Nothing but net.
That was huge. That was a big one.
Ward now brings up the floor. Gibson guarding him. Ward, pull-up jumper. Banked off the glass. Responds right back with a two of his own. Gibson brings it back up the floor again. Back to Miller. Miller getting a play from Strine. Gives it to Thomas. Thomas up top now. Guarded by Kinzer. He's got Gibson flashing up high. Gets it to him at the top. Back to Miller on the wing. Miller back to Gibson up top. Looking for something to form. Gibson drives in, kick out to Paris. Paris another three. It's good.
He's
4
on
for
fire.
4.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but heat coming from the junior guard, as that's his 4th for 3 in a row. He's 4 for 4 as Kinzer misses his own shot, gets his rebound, can't get it. Thomas with the rebound up to Miller. Miller with a nice layup, and that'll extend the lead to 13.
That's right.
Great run there from the Bruins as Danville takes the timeout. Bruins lead 35-22 with just under 4 minutes. But we'll get back here to the Bruins Gymnasium, and as we were talking to the break, Mr. Spears, tell us a little bit how this Bruin offense has been officially attacking this 2-3 zone here for the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors have been playing this zone, and what you want to do against a 2-3 zone is an overload, or you can screen a guy up top, you can run baseline, or you want to put guys where there's more guys than there are defenders, and we started to do that a little bit with some guys on the outside. Nice steal here.
Gibson with the steal coming up the floor, 1-on-1. He's going to go up and gets another 2. Sends the lead now to 15. Ward up to the side of Ennen. Ennen on the right wing. Gives it to Flick. Flick now back up top. As he picks up the dribble, gets inside to Rayvon Martin. Back to Flick to Ennen. Ennen for 3. It's good. Give him 3. That's his first points of the night. Gibson to Thomas. Thomas drives baseline 1-on-1. Easy score there. There's another 2.
Yeah, that's just speed kills right there.
Ward up the floor for the Warriors. Crosses back over to his left, looking for a pass. Doesn't get it. Dribbling to his left for the block. Has Eric Dean on him. Gets it over him.
Nice little teardrop shot right there over Dean.
Bruins still up by 12, 39-27. 3 minutes left to play in the half. Miller getting a play from Strine as he dribbles over to the left side of the court. Miller to Thomas. Thomas handoff to Miller. Miller driving inside. Nice drive.
Get in
to
there.
The lane.
Yes,
it's
sir.
An and Great vision there for Miller to take on the lane and we'll get the shot to fall.
Yeah, it looks like our outside shooting got Danville out of that zone. They went man there. That's what I was just going to finish up saying. When you have 2-3 zone, you want to put more players than where there are defenders, and that's what we were doing there a little bit those last couple possessions to hit some outside shots. Knocking those shots down will get a team out of zone. It looks like they were trying to go man right there. Now we'll see if they stay in that or if they jump back into the 2-3 zone.
So Paris and Eric Dean re-enter the game for the Bruins as Miller dealt his one free throw for the three-point play. And it is just in and out of the rim, so the lead will stay at 14. Ward brings up the floor for the Warriors as he's on the right wing. Looking for somebody, gets it inside to Kinzer. Kinzer inside to Martin. Martin almost gets it stolen. Dribbles inside, forces Anderson, and a foul going to be called on Anderson. So Rayvon Martin heading to the free throw line for 2 as Anderson going to be charged with his third, and that's the Bruins' 4th of the quarter.
Yeah, that's a little bit of concern just because that's a little bit of height right there. Obviously, you got Lane.
As expected, Barnard will re-enter the game for Anderson to trade in at the center spot as Martin misses his first free throw, so this will stay at a 14-point game. Martin with his second, gets it to go, so 13 points now. Miller brings it up, 2:30 left to play in the half. Miller guarded at half court by Ward, gets it to Gibson. Gibson back to Miller. Miller, pull up 3 from the outside. It's good! Give him 3! Caught the mismatch there on the big man and splashes it right in his face. There's Miller for 3 more. Ward now bringing it up the floor, spinning in the lane. Guarded by Gibson. And a foul going to be called on Gibson as well as he was trying to get his hands on the ball. As with that being the Bruins' 5th foul of the quarter, any foul now will be 2 shots. So Ward heading to the line.
Yeah, and I just heard Coach Martin over there on the Bruins bench saying, you can't reach. You can't reach. You got to play defense. Get your butt down, your chest up, hands out. Stay off of them. Don't get those silly reach fouls. You had them locked down, and then you bailed them out with the reach right there.
Ward makes his first free throw. Looking for his second now. It is up and good. This is now back to a 14-point game, 44-30. 2 minutes now left in the first half. Miller up the floor, looking for looking for Paris. Nice inside feed to Gibson. Great backdoor cut. There's 2 more for the Bruins.
Yeah, that's the good news is the Bruins are 3 for 3 against this man defense. So really, Coach Hartman's kind of in a tough spot.
Ward loses his dribble, now covered all over, gets it to Kinzer. Kinzer to Flick up top. Flick guarded by Dean, loses the ball, but he gets it back. Flick now out to Ward up top. Ward to Ennin. Ennin on the right wing gets it back to Flick. Flick has his dribble, cross to Ward on the left wing. Ward inside to Martin. Martin driving in the lane. Blocked
Get
by
it
Barnard.
out!
Flick back out on the wing, pulls a 3 off the front of the rim. Barnard with the rebound.
Yeah.
And an offensive foul going to be called
there
on Kenyon Martin. Rayvon Martin.
That's a frustration foul right there. Got your stuff swatted. You're trying to make a play.
With that, Rayvon Martin will exit the game, and back to the floor comes Logan Thompson for the Warriors.
Well, so far the Bruins have been able to get anything that they want against this Danville defense when they're playing man. Got to continue to be patient, work your stuff.
Gibson has it driving in the lane. Going to be on the floor foul called on Flick. 1:07 left to play. It's a 16-point game, and that'll be Flick's 3rd foul of the game, I believe.
And you can just see that the speed of the Tri-West guards is just too much for Danville. They just don't have the speed to be able to keep up with us off the dribble.
Subsequently, with his 3 fouls, McRoberts will come in for him. Cross court, unguarded is Eric Dean. He's got to give him 3. Ward bringing it up the floor. 1 minute left in the half. Ward gives it to McRoberts on the right wing. Feeds inside to Logan Thompson, and Thompson will get the fall. Miller now slowing it down, saving some time for their offense. Miller calling a play up top, gets it to Dean. Dean looking for Gibson, gets it to Gibson, back to Miller up top. Miller dribbling around, wasting some time, down to 30 seconds. Here comes the trap. Miller kick out to Paris. Paris to Gibson in the corner. Gibson contested three just off the back of the rim. Ward comes down with the rebound. Ward up the floor, 20 seconds left in the half. Ward on the left side. He's wasting some time, guarded by Paris. Here comes the screen. Dribbles left away from it. Pull-up jumper in the lane, won't go. Comes down with the rebound. And a travel going to be called on Ward as he tries to come down with the rebound. That'll stop the clock with 9.5 seconds for the Bruin offense. Into the game comes Tanner Weininger for the Warriors, as well as number 4, Jacob Fultz.
Yeah, you probably want to hope for one here, get a good look. Probably a high ball screen. Let one of your guards go to work.
Looks like they only got one guy man-to-man on Miller. Here comes Miller up the floor, 7 seconds. Miller dribbling in the left wing. Dribbles inside, foul, going to be called. I believe that's going to be called on number 24, Asaya Senin. That's the Warriors' 4th foul of the quarter, so still not going to be at the free throw line yet. Bruins will get it out of bounds with 4.3 seconds left in the quarter. Miller looking for somebody, lobs into Barnard. Clock starts. Barnard dribbles in, off the glass, can't get it to go. Ennin chucks it up, can't get it to go, way after the buzzer. And that will end the first half. Bruins up 49-32. What do you have to say about that first half?
Yeah, really well played there by the Bruins. I thought we imposed our will against them offensively. We could get just about anything we want. Defensively, we did a nice job, but we got to play defense the second half without fouling.
17-point lead as the Bruins head to halftime. We'll be back in a few minutes. We will be back here to Tri-West High School and for the Bruins tonight here against the Danville Warriors, and it has been a game that's gone the Bruins' way most of the night. Mr. Spears, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, we've been able to impose our will offensively, whether they've been in zone or man. I think we were perfect on offensive possessions against their man defense. We were knocking down threes against that zone. I mean, honestly, really, Lane, I think all this is going to come down to is as long as we take care of the ball and as long as we don't, play too aggressive on defense, we're going to be fine. We got to play solid defense without fouling. Like I said, heard Coach Martin over there. They're reaching. Got a couple of guys in some foul trouble. But I really just think that there's too many athletes in white and gray just keep keep up. They can't keep up with us off the dribble. Our 3 or 4 guards, and even, like Eric and Jackson, honestly, off the dribble, can get anything they want. But again, we got to make sure that we're playing patient and not rushing things, right? Sometimes when you shots start going down, you want to push the agenda a little bit. Can't do that. You got to run through your stuff, and I'm sure Coach is talking to those guys about that over there in the huddle.
Definitely well said there by Mr. Spears. 30 seconds till tip-off here the second half. We'll be right back. Time to get the second half underway here at the Great Bruins Gymnasium for tonight's rivalry matchup between the Bruins and the Danville Warriors.
Yeah, and one thing, Link, too, that I would say, you're going to get your best shot from Danville coming out, the first couple minutes. That's how they know if they're going to be able to get back to this thing. And if you can not let them get on there and just kind of, like we said in the pregame, put your boot on their throat, this thing could be over pretty quick.
Dean, quick three to start the half, and he's got it. Give him 3.
Yeah, that's a good start right there.
So Flick brings it down the floor for the first time for the Warriors tonight. On the wing, tries to step back, can't get it. Gets it back to Ennin. Ennin dribbles to his left, gets it back to Flick. Flick to Ward on the right wing. Ward dribbles to his left, gets it out to Fultz. Fultz dribbling right, crosses over back left, picks up his dribble. Tries to get to Ennin as Ennin cuts back inside, and that's going to go out of bounds. Bruin ball.
That's a good start there for Tri-West. You knock down the 3 and then create the turnover here. Like we said, just come out and don't let them get back into this game.
So
they're going to try to trap here.
Thomas inbounds to Miller. Miller back to Thomas. Paris flashes up top, gets it to Miller. Miller drives left side, cross court to Paris. Paris pump fakes, drives inside. Nice reverse layup, but off the front of the rim, but will be going to the line for 2.
Yeah, good ball fake there by Jackson. They had to respect that since he had knocked 4 of them down. So you see the closeout isn't under control. He gets around and gets right in the lane. Good, smart basketball.
Paris up with his first free throw, and it is good. Extends this lead to 21. As Paris, again, like we said tonight, 4 for 4 behind the arc in the first half. Very efficient night from him as he hits his second free throw to extend the lead to 22. So Flick brings it down the floor as he dribbles to his left. Inside feed to Ward. Ward pump fakes off the front of the rim. Tries to go down with his own rebound. They're fighting for it, and he does. Gets it to Ennin. Ennin off the back of the glass. Miller comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, you could tell he was a little rushed there with the athleticism down low. He tried to get that up real quick and just couldn't get it to the bucket.
Miller tries to feed Lane Barnard inside. He gets it there, and Barnard a nice spin layup.
Yeah, nice strong move there to hold on to that and then go up and finish. And this is exactly what we wanted to see from the Bruins.
Ward now has it up top for the Warriors, gets it to Fultz. Fultz dribbling to his right, crosses back over to Flick up top. Flick dribbling right down the lane, tries to jump inside, gets it to Ennin up top. Ennin now drives back inside. Foul going to be called on the floor.
Yeah, that's that reaching foul that we talked about there. It's just a natural thing. You do it so much, but you just got to condition yourself not to reach in and give them that cheap foul.
Foul going to be called on Jackson Paris, his second, team's first of the quarter. Flick going to inbound it to Fultz. Fultz pump fakes, feeds inside to Thompson. Thompson back to Ennin. And then fade away off the front of the rim, but Thompson comes down with the rebound. Thomas tries to get the steal, can't get it. Ward, fadeaway jumper. It's good, and he'll put 2 on the board here for the Warriors to start the half. 22-point game still as Bruins lead 56-34. As cross-court pass to Dean. Dean pump fake in the corner, back to Paris. Miller, triple threat up top. Lob to Dean in the corner. Dean this time will pull it just off the front of the rim. Thomas fighting for the rebound. He gets it. Miller now with 3. He's got it in and out, or he doesn't have it in and out, but Dean with the rebound. Thomas a 3 off the front of the rim. This time Danville comes down with the rebound as Flick brings up the floor. Flick, Euro step, will go into the basket, and now it's a 20-point even.
And we had some good looks there on that last offensive set.
Dean giving it back to Thomas. Thomas looking for a play from Strine. Thomas up top, 5:18 left to play with a 20-point lead. Paris on the left wing, back to Thomas. Thomas dribbling right, looking inside. He gets Dean in the corner again for 3. It's good! Give him 3, get some redemption.
Artman just can't believe it. I mean, he's just, it's a really great shooting clinic right now by the Bruins.
Flick to Ward. Ward inside the arc. 2, it'll go, and he'll shrink the lead back to 21. So now Miller brings it back up the floor. Danville coach Mark Artman telling his defenders to get up on the ball as doesn't want to give them too much room. Miller, corner to Thomas. Back to Paris on the wing. Paris to Thomas. Thomas dribbling out. Looking for somebody. Dribbles right. Feeds inside to Barner, just out of his reach, and that'll go out of bounds. Warriors basketball.
It's the right idea. I mean, it was a really good look. It just pass was a little flat.
So Warriors going to inbound it to Fultz. Fultz gets it to Flick. Flick brings up the floor now. Flick dribbling to his left, behind the back right. Gets it to Ward. Ward dribbling left in the lane, stripped by Miller. Gets it back though. Flick on the back door. Barnard says, "Get that out of my house," but a foul will be called.
Yeah, no easy buckets. That's good foul there.
Excuse me, that foul's going to be called on Eric Dean, not Lane Barnard. But still, Flick going to the line nonetheless. Puts up his first free throw, and it is off the left side of the rim. Into the game for the Bruins is number 13, Parker Anderson, and number 11, Parker Gibson, for the first time this half. Still a 21-point game, 4:18 left to play in the third. Flick puts up his second free throw, and it is good. It will bring it back to 20 points even. Bruins still lead, 4:15 left to play as Miller brings it up the floor. Miller to Anderson up top. Anderson hands off to Gibson. Gibson quick rifle to Paris. Paris gets a screen from Anderson, pulls it back out. Miller back to Paris. Paris double teamed up top. Gets it back to Miller on the wing. Miller drives inside. Contested jumper off the back of the rim. Ward comes down with the rebound. Ward up the floor. Pump fakes. Kick out to Flick. Flick on the left wing. Swing around to Fultz. Back to Flick. Back to Ward on the right wing. Ward gets it picked out, but gets it back up top. Ward to Flick. Flick now looking. He's got Thompson on the inside. Thompson backdoor cut to Flick. Flick jumping through the lane. Can't get the reverse to fall. Gibson comes down with the rebound, and an offensive foul going to go towards Cole Flick, that is. I believe that is his 4th of the night. Indeed it is. His 4th foul of the night and Danville's 2nd foul of the night. As indeed, here comes number 2, Landon Kinser, to bring him out of the game.
All right, we got to settle down a little bit here. We've had a couple of possessions here where we've just seen a little out of sorts. Guys trying to take it on themselves. We'll still see that good ball movement, good motion, work the ball in.
Gibson gets it to Anderson up top as Thomas now brings it back around. Inside to Paris. Paris, can he go for 5? The streak is broken, misses the 3, and it's going Danville's way as it's out of bounds. But there goes the 100% percentage, but I mean still 4 for 5 right now isn't bad.
Yeah.
That's 80% behind the arc.
Yeah.
Thompson inbounds it to Fultz, says the Bruins in a full court man-to-man press. Ward brings up the floor now for the Warriors as he's guarded by Thomas. Ward picks up his dribble, gets it to Kinzer. Kinzer driving baseline. Miller gets the block, but a foul going to be called.
Yeah, that's coach is saying there should have been a switch there, and you could see that there was miscommunication, and then Miller had to help bail everybody out there. Again, no easy basket.
So a timeout going to be called by Strine there after the foul. So that's Miller's first of the night, team's third. 20-point game here in Tri-West. We'll be right back out of this commercial break. Welcome back to the Hendricks County tournament between the Tri-West Bruins and the Danville Warriors, and this has been nothing except a close game, as the Bruins have just held this 20-point lead for over probably about 10 minutes now. Mr. Screws, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we've been a little disjointed offensively the last couple times down, a couple miscues down here that have created some fouls. So I think Coach Strine just wanted to take that timeout to kind of settle the guys down a little bit, make sure you coach them up on everything. You still got to feel good with about 3 minutes to go. You got a 20-point lead, but you'd still like to see better, crisp execution. I'm sure that's what we're going to see here out of this timeout.
So Landon Kinzer, Delta's second, misses his first, but makes his second. So now a 19-point game. Bruins still lead. Gibson inbounds to Thomas. Thomas now brings up the floor. Thomas on the left wing gets it to Anderson up top. Anderson handoff to Miller. Miller one-on-one. Miller looking, cross court to Thomas on the right wing. Back to Anderson. Anderson looking, dribbles to his right, handoff to Gibson. Gibson goes left, back right, dribbling baseline, cross to Paris. Paris tries dribble baseline, he's stopped. Gibson pulls it back out, gets it to Anderson up top. Miller trapped in the corner, trying to look for somebody, has Paris all the way back. Paris misses his dribble, picks it back up, gets to Anderson. Quick swing to Gibson in the corner.
You got to be patient.
Gibson pulls it back out, slowing down the tempo. Anderson now has it again. Anderson to Thomas. Thomas looking left. Thomas handoff to Gibson again. To Anderson. Anderson cross to Thomas. Thomas pump fake drive baseline, and a foul going to be called.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking as we were watching that offensive possession there. Teams don't like to play defense for extended periods of time. And the more patient you can be on offense, at some point there's going to be a breakdown. What you saw right there, somebody caught cheating when that skip pass came. They had to try to come and close out. Good drive there. You pick up the foul. Now, again, we got to continue to still be patient here, work our stuff.
Eric Dean enters the game for the Bruins here, as they're going to inbound it under their own basket. Going to lob it into Gibson. It's tipped and stolen by Ward. Ward to pull up three, just off the back of the rim, ends up in Miller's hands. Miller tries to get across to Thomas, and Thomas can't get a hold of it. So going to be Warriors ball right here in front of our desk, as Landon Kinzer going to inbound it for the Warriors. Kinzer gets the ball back off the inbound as Gibson's going to grab it back. Fultz has it now on the right wing. Brings it back left to Ward. Ward to Ennin. Ennin dribbles left inside the lane. Nice little layup over Dean. He's going to get it to fall. 59-42. Bruins still lead. 1:40 left to play in the third. Thomas swing left to Dean. Dean to Gibson in the corner. Back to Dean. Dean pump fakes to Gibson again. Gibson for three. Just off the back of the rim. Miller tips it. Back to Thomas. Thomas, nice feed inside to Gibson. Gibson can get the layup to fall. This time, Logan Thompson comes down with the rebound. Landon Kinzer comes up the floor with it. Running baseline is Fultz. Fultz tries to put up the shot, but a foul got to be called, and he will be heading to the free throw line for two more.
Yeah, a little sloppy here the last 4 or 5 minutes for the Bruins in this third quarter. I'm not saying they've been comfortable with the lead, but, we certainly look kind of out of sorts on offense. And we can't just settle for jump shots. We gotta push it inside, force them to play defense, and Defensively, we've been a little, again, lack of communication, whatever it might be. We just got to tighten it up here a little bit. I mean, we're still comfortable lead, but you can kind of feel maybe a little bit of a shift of momentum here. You certainly don't want to give this Danville team any sense of a hope that they have to come back and win this game.
Jacob Foltz putting up his second free throw after he misses his first, and a lane violation going to be called on number 24, Esias Ennin. So the shot will not count as Paris, who's just recently re-entered the game, comes back, inbounds it to Parker Gibson. Gibson dribbling right, gets it to Dean. Dean handoff to Thomas, Thomas to Gibson. Gibson up top, double team. Inside Anderson, corner,
Good.
DT, 3, just off the back of the rim. Anderson, nice rebound. Anderson, nice spin and nice putback for the 2.
Something Parker did that was really great right there. He got that rebound, he kept it high. A lot of those big guys, when they get that rebound, they want to bring it down low, and that's when the guards swipe at it.
Carter Ward, a 3, it's good. He responds right back. So a 16-point game. Bruins still lead 61-45. Paris finds Anderson inside, but Ward jumps it. Ward gets a steal. He's 2-on-1. Pull-up jumper off the front of the rim. Anderson comes down with the rebound, and a foul going to be called on Ward.
Boy, Coach's frustration levels building higher and higher over there with each possession. I mean, he's just really frustrated with the way that we've played here this last 5 minutes of the third quarter. I'm sure that timeout in between the quarters is going to be a lot of you better get it together. You know, you got a 15, 16, 17-point lead. You still got to run your stuff and execute the way that coaches expect.
Just under 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Bruins still up 61-45. Anderson looking for somebody. Cross court to Gibson. Gibson to Thomas up top. Back to Paris. Paris pump fake back to Thomas. Thomas drives left. Kick out to Paris. Nice backdoor cut. Nice layup there.
Better.
Puts up another 2. And
Yeah,
a travel there by number 1, Tanner Weininger. He tried to get the pass off, but started walking with it.
Yeah, that was a much better offensive possession there. He got the ball into the paint against the zone. Anytime you can get inside the defense on his zone, good things usually happen.
So Thomas going to take the inbound underneath their own bucket, lobs it into Anderson. Anderson handoff to Thomas. 5 seconds left. Thomas, nice layup. Can't get it to go. Anderson with a putback and a foul going to be called with 1.7 seconds left to play.
Yeah, nice athleticism there by Parker to go up and grab that one. Try to throw it back in there and draw the contact.
So that's going to be number 24, Esias Ennin's second foul of the game. That's Danville's 5th team foul. So Anderson to the line, shooting 2 here just before the end of the third. Anderson puts up his first, and it's good. 19-point game now, 64-45. Anderson dealt to second. It's up, and it is just off the back of the rim. And then bobbles it. Paris tries to put it back up just before the half, but it will not fall. And at the end of the third quarter, your Bruins still have a 19-point lead, 64-45. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome you back here to the Bruins Gymnasium at the start of the fourth quarter for tonight's matchup between the Tri-West Bruins and the Danville Warriors. And this has been nothing but a blowout. The Bruins have been consistently holding about a 20-point buffer to these Warriors. Richard Spears, what can we look forward to in this final quarter of play?
Yeah, like I said, I think really just for the Bruins, it's about cleaning up the execution on the offensive end. On the defensive end, it's just about playing good, solid defense without fouling, talk to each other, stay connected, just close this game out.
Flick now back into the game inside of Rayvon Martin. Rayvon kick back out to Cole. Cole driving inside, gets it swatted away by Paris, I believe, as Miller comes down with the rebound. Miller dribbles inside the lane, gets it blocked by Riggs, but punched out by Barner, but that's going to be a foul.
That was a nice play there. Was that Riggs, I think, that got the block on that? That was a nice little play. I mean, Ryan turned the afterburners on. He got into the lane with basically no resistance, but it's a good job there of getting the block.
Oliver Riggs inbounds it to Carter Ward, number 3, as he brings it up the floor. Paris guarding him. Number 0, Flick now has it. Flick back to Ward. Ward drives right, scoops it, gets it to Dean. Dean slowing it down. Picks up his dribble looking for somebody. He's got Paris. Gets it Blakely on the left wing. Blakely to Barnard. Barnard gets it to Paris. Barnard feeds it. Paris to Dean. Dean cross court to Blakely. Blakely looking inside. Gets it back out to Paris. Paris pump fake 3. Paris back to Dean. Dean back to Paris. Paris looking, kick out to Barnard up top. Miller dribbles across, guarded one-on-one.
Nice job there of resetting.
Miller now to Paris, heavily guarded by Ward. Paris 2-on-1 inside to Barnard. Barnard tries to lay in the dunk, but will decide to go with the layup instead. Extends the lead to 21.
Yeah, you could tell he had thoughts of wanting to try to hammer that one home, but smart to just take the easy 2.
Flick to Weininger. Weininger back to Ward up top. Ward looking for a screen. He's got it. Now he's 2-on-1. Barnard tried to pick it away, but that's going to be a foul on Barnard. His second of the night, going to be the team's second with 6:30 left to play, as Ward will take it out in front of his own bench.
Yeah, and again, that's just the style of defense that the Bruins play, but, you just got to be smart, that far out away from the basket, try to keep the hands off.
Flick picks up his dribble, looking up top, gets it to Weininger. Weininger to Ward up top. Ward feeds inside to Riggs. Riggs back inside to Martin, but Martin couldn't get a hold of it. Now it's to Blakely, all the steal. Blakely dribbling inside, and a travel going to be called. Should have been looking for a foul there, but a travel will be called on Blakely nonetheless.
Bruin Den does not approve, but I didn't see it, to be honest with you. I don't know if he was out of control and traveled or if he got fouled.
Regardless, Flick brings up the floor, still a 21-point lead for the Bruins. Ward pump fakes 2-on-1, gets it to Martin in the corner. Martin kick out to Ward. Ward across to Cole Flick. Flick a contested 3. He's got to give him 3. And so now it's an 18-point game.
I regret saying anything about the fact that they can't shoot from outside. I want to be on the record as saying that.
So Miller gets it to Paris. Paris down to Blakely. Blakely on the baseline, tries to stick it out, gets it out to Dean. Dean cross court back to Blakely. Blakely dribbles. Back to Blakely. Back to Miller on the baseline. Miller drives in. Can't get the layup to fall. Rebounded by Ward. Ward sewing up the tempo. Gets it to Flick. Flick. Cross up to Ward. Ward pump fake. Spins in the lane. Fadeaway 2. Can't get it to go. Martin and Dean fighting for it. It's going to stay with the Warriors off of Dean. Thomas returns to the game for Eric Dean. 5:16 left to play. Bruins still lead by 16. Flick now has the ball under their own basket. Flick wide open pass to Ward, and he's going to get the layup to fall. 14 is the lead now.
Yeah, that's just somebody,
16 is the lead now.
Somebody falling asleep there on that out-of-bounds play.
Thomas has it up top, gets it to Paris. Paris back to Thomas. Thomas drives left, kick out to Paris. Paris for 3, just off the back of the rim. Barnard fighting for the rebound. He's going to fall. It's going to fall off of Martin's hands, and the ball's going to stay with the Bruins.
I appreciate the inside-out game. We've talked about that a lot. But I feel like there's been a couple of possessions here where we've gotten the ball inside and had a shot and then kicked it out for a 3. I mean, you're not really at the point right now where you want to be just shooting 3s. Get the ball into the paint, score some easy 2s, close this thing out.
Miller taking out under the Bruins' own basket. Blakely drives right, dribbles in the lane, looking for a kick out. Nice find there to Miller. Miller goes up and draws the foul. Going to be a shooting foul, and he's heading to the line for 2. chance to extend this lead to 17 or more.
Yeah, that's smart basketball right there.
Miller looking for his first. Miller hits the first, extends the lead to 17. Bruins up 67-50. Miller looking for his second free throw now. Puts it up, and it is good. Extends the lead to 18. Sias sent it, inbounds it to Flick. Flick cross up to number 31, Wyatt Tenery. Back to Flick. Flick crosses back left, back to Tenery. Tenery looking for a pass. He's got Ward outside. Ward back inside to Ennin. Ennin dribbling inside, spins. Can't get it over Anderson as Anderson gets a rebound. Foul going to be called on Ennin. Had the hands interlocked there. That's a pretty easy call for the officials.
Yeah, no argument from the Danville bench.
Eric Dean comes in now for Parker Anderson as Miller going to inbound it for the Bruins. Bruins have an 18-point lead, 68-50 with 4:31 left to play. Miller. Bruins trying to drain some clock here as Thomas dribbles it slowly on the outside. Running a high 2-3 zone as Miller now has on the right wing. Miller to Dean in the corner. Dean cross to Thomas. Thomas to Gibson. Gibson jabs left, fakes right, goes to Thomas. Thomas back to Gibson. Gibson driving right, dumps it off inside to Dean. Nice find there, and Dean with another two.
That was a great drive by Parker to attack that seam in the zone.
Cole Flick tries to build up the layup. He's got it back down to 18. Miller, quick pass to Thomas. Thomas goes up for the layup. He gets to the fall. We're back up to 20 points.
That'll drive you nuts as a coach. You go down, you score, and then you give up an easy one because you're lazy getting back in transition.
Flick in the corner, spins baseline, dumps it off to Tenery. Tenery on the block, kick out to Kinzer. Kinzer contested three. He's got it, and the shot will fall. 4-point play on deck here for Landon Kinzer.
Yeah, Coach Strachan just cannot believe some of the things that we're doing here in the second half. That's just a coach, though, being a perfectionist. I mean, you might hear me say that, and you say, but they're up 72-55. But you're never satisfied, right? And you never want your guys doing things because those bad habits can creep in a close game and really hurt you.
Kinzer completes the 4-point play. The lead is now 72-56 Bruins here with just 3:20 left. Thomas goes up with the layup but can't get it to fall. So now he will go to the line for two, as that's the Warriors, I believe, fourth team foul of the quarter. And that's Cole Flick's fifth foul of the game. So into the game for Flick's place is number 11, Emmanuel Adebayo. So Thomas looking for his first free throw. Puts it up and good. 17-point lead now for the Bruins. Thomas now looking for his second free throw. It is up and good. Actually, just off the front of the rim. Lead will stay at 17. So Ward brings up the floor for the Warriors. He dribbles to his left. Looking, spitting. He has Ennin in the corner. Ennin now on Thomas. Back to Ward. Ward a deep three. It's good. He'll get another three for himself. Gibson almost loses his dribble. Picks it back up at center court. Gibson guarded heavily by Adebayo. Gets it to Paris in the corner. Paris dribbling back to his right. Back to Thomas in the corner. Thomas tipped by Adebayo. Kinzer going to come back down with it. Kinzer gets it to Ward. Almost stolen by Gibson. Thomas picks up Ward. Gibson trying for the steal. Ward picks up his dribble. Ennin gets it to Adebayo. Adebayo to Kinzer, and Kinzer's going to step on the line. So another unforced turnover there by the Warriors will get the ball back to the Bruins. So a 14-point lead here for the Bruins. 2:34 left to play. 73-59 is your score. Gibson has it, gets it back to Miller. Just going to lob it over number 11 here. Miller gets it to Gibson. Gibson in the corner to Paris. Paris, baseline,
Nice.
shovel to Thomas. Nice find there. There's another easy layup for the Bruins.
And that's what you can do when you break down a press like that. DT, got to be smart there. Just no need for it.
So Thomas trying to go for the steal. Going to get called on a reach there. Bruins' 4th foul of the game.
I mean, normally you would applaud the hustle, but, you're up 16 with just about 2 minutes to go. Just need to be smart. Now he's got 4.
Carter Ward brings up the floor for the Warriors. He dribbles to his left. Ward, pull-up jumper, fadeaway, can't get to go. Thomas trying to come down with the rebound. He's got it. Just before he gets out of bounds, Miller scoops it up. Miller, cross-court to Dean. Dean to Paris in the corner. Paris spins out of it. Dean, pump fake 3. Gets it back to Paris. Paris pulling it back out. Dean, back to Paris in the corner. Paris dribbling out to his right, gets it to Gibson. Gibson up top, wasting some time here. 1:45 left in the game. Gibson, Miller inside, fouled as he goes up, and he's heading back to the line. Danville's 4th team foul of the game.
Yeah, good ball movement right there. Felt like you get stuck on that side of the court, and you get it over in the middle, and then good things happen.
Foul will be charged for Emmanuel Adebayo, his 1st of the game, team's 4th, as Miller puts up the first free throw, and it is good. Miller, a chance to extend the lead back to 18 here. Miller looking for a second. Puts it up and good. 18-point game now for the Bruins, 77-59. Ward brings up the floor now at the center. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Kinzer. Kinzer a pull-up 3 just off the front of the rim. Tenery gets it back, puts it back up, and we'll get an offensive board.
Nice little move there.
Gibson tries to get it, but will land before he can get the ball off, and a travel called on Gibson. 1:24 left to play.
I've never seen a coaching staff with their head in their hands so much than what I've seen from our guys tonight. They're just so frustrated with these silly mistakes. It makes it a little bit easier when you're up, almost 20. But they know, like, those things can catch up to you at some point.
Kinzer dribbles baseline, back up jumper, can't get to go, and then tries to come down with it, gets it stripped out by Paris. Paris back out to Dean, 1 minute left in the game, 16-point lead for the Bruins. The timeout going to be called by Tri-West.
Bruins going to get a couple of subs in here, probably just a sub timeout.
Sub timeout charge for Tri-West. As we'll get right back into the action here. Dean's going to take it out in front of their bench.
So it's looking like the Bruins are going to be playing the Bulldogs Thursday. And Brownsburg, they got talent. There's no doubt about that. But I've seen a few of their box scores and a few of their games, and, they're beatable. I think, if we play good, solid basketball from tip to finish, that's a game I think we could get from them. It's going to take a total team effort, though, to make it happen.
Parker Gibson to Dean for 3. It's good. Give Dean 3 more. 19-point game is number 12. Sam McRoberts brings it up, and he'll put out a 3. Bricked off the back of the glass. Dean has it 35 seconds. Pushed up to Blakely. Blakely jabs, tries to get it out, but it will be off his own foot and back Danville's way. 32 seconds exact to play. Warriors bringing up the floor here, 30 seconds. Ennin has it at the right wing, gets to McRoberts. McRoberts to number 33, Aiden Archer. Aiden Archer airballed. An offensive foul going to be called on Emmanuel Adebayo. That's Danville's 5th foul of the game. And to the line, I believe, will be Eric Dean.
Anything to stretch this one out, right? That's the old joke around our house with football. My wife will ask, how much time is left? And I'll say, 2 minutes. She'll say, so about another half hour.
Gibson nails the first free throw as now we are at 20 points exactly. Bruins 81, Danville 61. Gibson misses the second free throw as Esias Eden comes down with it. Eden dribbles up the floor, cross court to Archer. Aiden Archer, excuse me. Sam McRoberts back to Archer. Archer into Adebayo. Adebayo in the corner, back to Tenery. To McRoberts, back to Archer on the right wing. Inside to Esias, 3 seconds left. Eden, pull-up three off the front of the rim to end the game, and that will do it. Bruins take home a rivalry win, 20 points exact, 81-61. And this game wasn't even close from the tip, Mr. Spears.
Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about. Just impose your will, come out here, boot on neck, and, all in all, a good win.
Well, that'll do it from us.